Well, let's reopen the national debate on what impact this is going to have on the UPA. This is a mini general election. Will the allies flex their muscle? On our political debate on Newshour special edition tonight, Ravi Shankar Prasad, Derek O'Brien of the Trinamool Congress, and we also joined right there, Sachin Pilot of the Congress Party. Thank you very much. Okay, we have a couple of questions and we'll go number 1 to number 10. If I can have your attention, please, not this side. Question number 1, will the Congress find the going tough in the budget session of Parliament? Arun Jaitley just said, most likely, unless the Congress Party, Navika, what was the word? Changes its approach.
He said, unless the Congress Party doesn't really act its usual arrogant self and actually comes and talks to the opposition, otherwise opposition will devise its own strategy on how to look at the budget session as well as the presidential elections that are due sometime in June.
Sachin Pilot, therefore the question is for you to start the debate. You know, with the Congress Party's very poor performance in this election, your lowered presence in the Rajya Sabha, your entire approach to politics, even with your own allies, not just the opposition parties, is going to have to change. You'll have to be less unilateral, maybe more inclusive in the way you approach your own allies and even the opposition parties. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I've heard your question, Arnav, but it's very broken. What I could make of it is the fact that you're asking the central government to kind of be more inclusive in decision making. Let me tell you, the UPA is as strong as ever. We've had 8 years of this government being in power. UPA 2 was voted back with a set of allies that we have together, and despite all the trouble that our opposition parties want to make before counting day and post that, I can tell you today that the government is stable. It will run its course for next 2 years, and all of our allies who are supporting us from within the government and outside are on board, and we'll take them continuously on board in all the decisions that we might be taking in this next budget session and onwards.
Let's be very specific. In fact, we put 5 questions there, and I'm now going. You provoked me to go to question number 6. Question number 6, Mr. Sachin Pilot. Can you hear me?
I can, but very faintly. But carry on.
Will the Congress be able to hike petrol prices without losing Trinamool support?
Well, Arnav, I think the hiking of the petrol prices is not something that any government wants to do. It is clearly dependent on the international prices, and the oil companies take a decision as to when and how much they need to reduce or increase the prices as the time may be.
No, but it's a political decision very much now. It's a political decision.
No, it is. I think the oil companies are making decisions as and when the prices change globally. They've reduced at some times, they've increased it at the other times.
But you know Mamata Banerjee's position on it.
On a continual basis.
I've only taken that as one example on many issues on which Mamata Banerjee has been asking the government to review its decisions, and the Congress Party obviously thought that till now it would be able to get the Samajwadi Party support and then say goodbye to Mamata Banerjee. Let me get Derek O'Brien in. Derek O'Brien, will your party suddenly become more sympathetic, more understanding, give more of a leeway towards the Congress Party, which is in a bad shape after these elections?
Arnav, just one little thing I want to tell you before I answer any of your questions. I don't think any breaking news is going to come out from me today on your channel, because we as a political
news ever come?
Because you're looking for me to give one sentence or someone to give one sentence to give you a breaking news, but today our focus today.
No, I have no such apprehensions, not at all.
Thank you, Arnav. Thank you. Our focus today, in fact, has been on the Manipur elections. It mightn't have been your focus, but for us it was very important. All day we were tracking Manipur, and we're very happy with the result, because
Derek,
we made a debut in Manipur, and we've now become the largest
on your performance in Manipur.
Sorry?
Congratulations on your performance in Manipur. I have noted that, but that's not my question. The question is, will you now become more sympathetic?
See, this is what the
Congress Party in a moment of difficulty needs you to be a little bit more understanding.
This is not about sympathy, love, affection. Political parties do not run on these emotional elements. We have clearly stated positions. on many issues. You raised the issue of petrol earlier. On many issues, the Trinamool is not a reactive party. We are proactive. We have clear positions on issues. I think the key issue is once our position is known, it is our duty, and what we do as a responsible political party is to let that rational position be known. So where is this thing about sympathy, love, anger, hate? These things don't matter.
Mr. Derek O'Brien, you're a person, you're a quiz master, you're a master with the English language. You obviously understood that I was asking you that question more sarcastically than anything else. Question goes to Ravi Shankar Prasad.
No, I thought you were asking me straight questions and not sarcastic questions. Let's keep the questions straight then. Don't add any sarcasm in your questions. I would not expect that of you, my friend. I would not expect the first question you asked me is a sarcastic question. Ask me a straight question. Why a sarcastic question?
The straight question was to you, which you avoided. You avoided when I asked you a straight question.
You've been
giving a terrible time to the you've been giving such a terrible time to the Congress party that the Congress party was desperately hoping that the Samajwadi party would replace you. That is not happening.
You started using words like sympathy. Next you'll ask me whether we send a wreath. I mean, come on, Arnav, you've got to be a little more responsible than that.
I am asking you, Derek O'Brien. Derek O'Brien, my question to you is very simple. And you know, one second. You have given, you as in Mamata Banerjee have given the Congress party such a difficult time. That over the last 1 month, people at the Congress party say, we really hope that the Samajwadi party comes and rescues us from the clutches of Mamata Banerjee at the centre.
It is not.
That's the real situation tonight.
I'll answer your
question. That's the impact of this election.
Arnav, the word Trinamool means grassroots. Our party means grassroots. We try to reflect. We try to reflect the cause of the common man. So whenever we feel that there is something which will hurt the common man, so that is our focus. So please remember what is our focus and our decisions, or no, our decisions and our policies are based. That is our primary focus.
Let them hike petrol prices.
Are we the common man affected by petrol prices? It is for people to drive cars.
No, 1 second. Your position on your position on your
common man. He talks about a common man. He's defending.
Watch it. Lord Desai, your position on petrol prices is a little extreme. I want to go to Ravi Shankar Prasad. Mr. Prasad, my question to you tonight is: first 5 questions were in the context of what the impact of this election will be on national politics. In your view, what is the impact of this election on national politics, given the very fragile nature of the UPA alliance and the tenuous relationship between the Congress party and its single largest ally, the Trinamool Congress?
Obviously, it is going to be further fragile, or no? Now, take the case of Mulayam Singh Yadav's party. They have been taking the support of this party to bail out the UPA government in case of crisis from the crisis. Now, they are having a clear majority in the state of Uttar Pradesh. This will make them assertive, more demanding. They don't need UP or Congress party at all. Mayawati is no more the chief minister. She will also she has a good number in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha both. Therefore, both the results of Uttar Pradesh in its own way creates problem for the Congress party as far as the central government is concerned. Now, you talked about arrogance of power or the management skill. Let me give you 2 concrete examples. Now, this counter-terrorism issue is an issue on which most of the chief ministers are deeply agitated, from Jayalalitha to Mamata ji to Nitish Kumar to Narendra Modi to everyone. Now, the Prime Minister said in the response to their letter that Mr. Chidambaram will address it. Now, Mr. Chidambaram, instead of talking to them, is talking to the DGP and the chief secretaries. Now, if the problem is political or no, the Prime Minister ought to have talked it at the political level and not to browbeat the Chief Secretary and DGP.
Taking it to this state election. Tell me the link to this state. Why are you raising it tonight on the 6th of February, 6th of March 2012? Why are you raising it tonight? What is the link of what you have said to the election results? Then I'll get Sachin to respond.
If you will speak a little less, then it will be appropriate for me to reply. The reply is very simple, or no? The reply is, you asked me a question as to what consequence it will have on the UPA's scenario in Delhi. In that context only I gave you an example that these issues require to be tackled effectively with an, I would say, in the context of humility and understanding. If the same kind of situation keeps on being displayed by the Congress leadership with some degree of arrogance and some sense of being taken for granted, then I am sorry to say it is going to be all the more complicated for them in the light of today's election result.
Sachin Pilot, bring down your arrogance a notch, not yours. The Congress party, bring down your arrogance a notch. Have a more inclusive approach. Don't bring issues like NCTC. Give more space to opposition. Be more understanding towards your allies. This is the bottom line of what everyone is saying.
I think, Arnab, if you were not a television show host, you could do very well in finding a job as a screenplay writer for a masala soap opera on television, because you're trying to create issues where none exist. This is an assembly election verdict that has come out. We have accepted with full humility the lack of seats that we could have got in Uttar Pradesh. Manipur and Uttarakhand, we will form the government. Goa, we have not been able to win again. Punjab, we should have won, we have lost. So these are elections that are all state-specific. Issues were all bound within the boundaries of the political state. But you're talking about the UPA, I've clearly told you, we have a functional and a very strong ally in the UPA too. All of our partners, including the Trinamool Congress, which you have been trying to stir all sorts of trouble. We will continue to talk to Mamata Banerjee and to Derek O'Brien or whoever else in TMC. We can have diversion of views. In a coalition, please hear me out. In a coalition, every political party has a right to have a different view, but does not mean there is any question of instability in the UPA. The BJP and Mr. Prasad would like to see some instability, clearly, but that is not the fact of life today. We have a strong UPA too. We will run the course for the next 2.5 years. We have expectations we have to fulfill. We have to work even more harder to reach out to more people and to live up to the promise that we have made when we fought and won the election in 2009.
Mr. Sachin Pilot, let me assure you I am completely a non-fiction man. I have no fascination, neither do I write fiction. FDI in retail was not fiction. What happened during the Lokpal was not fiction. What happened in NCTC was not fiction. The threat to withdraw over petrol prices was not fiction. The manner in which the Mamata Banerjee went on record and said, we are losing our patience with the central government and the Prime Minister, and none of that was fiction. So please don't, I know that you probably think I have more talents than what I'm doing, but I certainly can assure you I'm not turning into a documentary filmmaker or a cinematographer on Newshour tonight. This is fact. And the point that Ravi Shankar Prasad has made to you have avoided the answer on that. The question is, change your style of functioning. Be more inclusive. That's what Ravi Shankar Prasad is saying to you.
No, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad is within his right as a main political opponent to the Congress and the UPA to give suggestions, to look for trouble when none exists. But the UPA has been functioning, like I said, to all the issues, whether it's FDI, whether it's the NCTC, whether it's any other issue. All of our allies may have different views, but there's no question of instability in the government. I don't know why you're trying to do this fear-mongering in your program and trying to create a pan-India, national sort of unstable scenario where there is nothing of that sort at all. It is all regional elections. We fought and lost and won, so on and so forth. But for the UPA, I think it's out of context to be talking about the kinds of permutation combinations that you are fathoming.
Mr. Sachin Pilot, many of our panelists here have raised their hands here right now. Yes, certainly, and I'm going to take a few questions here. We've got questions coming all over the place. Okay, who's going first? First question goes to Ashok Malik. We'll take a couple of quick questions. Ashok Malik.
My question is to Mr. O'Brien. Mr. O'Brien, the joke in Delhi is the Trinamool Congress now heads the opposition in two places, in Manipur and in Delhi. Given this, do you want to hold the veto on the UPA's choice of president? And what happens if you don't get the president of your choice?
Yeah.
I think, as a political party, you're asking me questions on this television channel and you're looking for quick answers. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
We have two points on this. One is, we have a clear plan and a clear direction and a clear mandate, which we got, one in 2009 and one in 2011, exactly 295 days ago, to run Bengal. We have these two mandates. We have a very, very clear plan for peace, for development, and for good governance in Bengal. One second. Let me finish.
I don't want to digress from the
I'm not digressing.
At hand.
And the second is our party chief.
Focused on the issue.
I'm saying focus on the issue. I made my first point. Here's the second. My party chief, Mamta Di, yesterday, much before today's results, has called a meeting of the parliamentary committee, of the parliamentary body of Trinamool Congress, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha MPs. We are meeting on Friday at 4 p.m. for a meeting 2 days before parliament session starts. So that is the place.
Point is taken.